What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, the brother Robert Mason, coming through with another donation to the channel via the PayPal. Sent to you for showing love once again to this channel. Lover of the old school and just all around solid brother. So this year we have seen Stephen A. Smith get into it with various sports personalities. They, of course, have included people such as LeBron James, Dan Le Batard, Max Kellerman, Jason Whitlock, and many others. And the latest person to get into it with Stephen A. Smith has been none other than Joy Reid, former MSNBC political commentator. So in the latest episode of Naked Sports with sports broadcaster Kerry Champion, who of course is a fellow media figure, Joy Reid pushed back on Smith's claims that she was fired, talking about Joy Reid, over ratings. And she also went in on Stephen A. Smith, and for all intents and purposes, she called him a buck dancer. There's no sugarcoating around it. That's pretty much what she called him.
He was talking about your show. What did he say about your show? And then you had to respond.
He said I got fired for ratings, and I'm like, excuse me, sir. You got $100 million for a show with half my ratings at my worst. I had to literally Google his numbers. I'm like, how many people listen to the show? Is it like 4 million people? Oh, wait, it's like, what, 500,000 people? Dude, that's like average CNN. That's not that high. They're paying you not for your numbers, my friend. They're paying you because you are willing to say the nasty things about Black people that they want to say. You're willing to take their denigration of Black women and put it in the mouth of a Negro. And because you're willing to put the denigration of Black women in particular into a Negro's mouth, you now think that, oh, I must be a freaking political genius. But just be clear, you're not being paid for your numbers. You're being paid for what you're willing to do to us for white people's entertainment. And as long as you cool with that, bruh, keep being you. But don't come for my friends. Don't come for people that I know their value and try to devalue them in front of all the Black women who can see and hear you, because we know what you're doing. Woo!
Well, to me, the first thing that pops out to me in this situation is I think we can all pretty much say that the relationship between Stephen A. Smith and Kerry Champion is now officially over. I think that Kerry Champion, I'm not going to say she used Joy Taylor to say what she's thinking, but she didn't disagree at all with anything that Stephen A. Smith said. And let me say this before I go further, because people don't really listen to some people listen to and hear things they want to hear, and they react to what they want to hear. I'm not a fan of Joy Taylor. Excuse me. I'm a fan of Joy Taylor. I'm not a fan of Joy Reid. Okay. I will never forgive what Joy Reid pulled last year. Okay. I'll never forgive that shit that she tried to pull last year when she tried to throw Black men on the bus when it came to Trump voters. Okay. Look, if you voted for Trump and you're Black, that's your business. The Democratic Party despite what Joy Reid thinks, does not own black people's votes. Okay. And for the many brothers who did vote for Trump, even if you have buyer's remorse, a lot of y'all did it out of just sheer frustration with the Democratic Party. But the fact that she said, if black men voted for Trump, or if you're not supporting the Democrats, y'all gonna look really weird. Well, we ain't forget that. So, you know what I'm saying? She ain't for the black community. She's for the so-called progressive, so-called woke crowd or woke cause. She's for that. Okay? And she could run from it all she wants to. 20 years ago, Joy Reid was saying something totally different about those alphabet people on that blog. She could run away from it all she wanted to. She did an about face on that because she had to. Because if she wanted to survive on network television with that in that culture, she was going to have to take back everything that she said, or even things that she truly believes. So, you know what I'm saying? To me, Joy Reid is a sellout too, ultimate sellout. And I'm not too big on the FBA thing, the FBA versus, you know, quote unquote outside blacks thing. I think it's just another way to divide us. I'm not saying that there isn't some truth to it, but we have people who are FBA and are sellouts too. So to me, it's just another way for us to just look to divide us. Meanwhile, Trump letting in people who ain't from this country look like him. He don't give a damn if they from another country. He don't care if they from, you know, Luxembourg or whatever, Nova Scotia. If they look like him, they're his people. And I think we need to get back on that mindset, because that's the danger. That's what they truly fear. That's why they got rid of Malcolm. Not because he was a black revolutionary, but because he augmented his views and he became a pro-black revolutionary. Like, to the point where he wanted to unite everybody, and he couldn't have that. But anyway, having said all that about Joy Reid, it ain't like she's lying about Stephen A. Smith. She's not lying about that. Stephen A. Smith can play that tap dance game all he wants to. I can see it, and whether you want to admit it or not, you see it. He tries to play, you know what I'm saying? He tries to tap dance and try to play both sides of the fence. But at the end of the day, he tries to do enough to placate them folks when it comes to like those people that pay, or his bosses, the people that look like his bosses. He does enough to try to placate them. But then when he gets called out on it, then he tries to run back over on the other side to try to do enough to placate us. You know what I'm saying? But he does most of his tapping. The more money he makes, the more and more he's willing to tap over to the dark side, or should I say, the Oreo side. Look who he has on his show. When you look at his shows, I'm not trying to say he's supposed to have nothing but brothers on there, but I don't be seeing a whole bunch of brothers on his show. I be seeing people that look like Chris Cuomo, or people that look like, Lindsey Graham, or people that look like, Republican lawmakers. That's who I tend to see on his damn program. And he can say it's because he's an independent. But when you look at your rhetoric is definitely slanted toward the right, because you know where the money is. And yes, you do seem to have this agenda where you're going after black women, because you know that there's a market for that. Number one, we already know that those folks that voted for Trump on that side, they don't really respect black women. We can see that from the stuff they say about Ketanji Brown Jackson and all these other sisters. You got people right now pitching a bitch that Aja Wilson was voted the Sportswoman of the Year, even though she had a historic season with the Las Vegas Aces, even though they came back for like a 4-9 start and roared to the championship, even though she done won 4 MVPs in her 8 years in the pros. Somehow, some dude who pretended not to be able to speak English so he could avoid the shit that's happening to Chauncey Billups as far as sports betting and all that concern, they think he should win so much Shohei Ohtani. It's funny how all of a sudden now he can't speak English. He avoid that shit smooth as a motherfucker. But you got a problem with you know what I'm saying? That's a crowd that you try to placate to. And not only are there white people that have problems with black women, but you know, there's a lot of brothers who have the issues with black women. So that's why you throw black women on the bus, because you're looking at numbers, you're looking at your audience, looking at hits and likes and clicks and views. Even though you claim that you got daughters, even though you claim you got sisters, but you're willing to throw them on the bus for profit. Everybody here, man. And people can sit here and call me a simp and all that. I don't care about what none of y'all got to say. Because I seen all you guys simping for Caitlin Clark all day, every day last year. And this year. Funny how y'all only say that somebody's simping when they trying to defend a black woman. But when it's a white woman, y'all don't say that. So y'all guys just showcasing y'all lust for Becky. So I'm like this. At the end of the day, I don't care for Joy Reid, but it ain't like she lying about this dude. And I'm not going to defend Stephen A. Smith no more, bro. Like, you know, at the end of the day, him and Jason Whitlock is just the same to me. And I would argue that Stephen A. Smith is worse because he pretends like he's for the cause. He try to pretend like he down. He'll wear a Malcolm X jacket to try to make it seem like he know how to still speak the lingo to make it seem like he cool. At least Jason Whitlock letting you know what he is. But anyway, we already know that Stephen A. Smith gonna come out and respond, and because he love to respond to black women, and his tone will be, you know, derogatory. He gonna probably say something about Carrie Champion and how he's done with her, you know, like, you know, but at the same time, he enjoys it. He enjoys being the center of attention. So I'll look for that real soon. Anyway, tell me what you guys think.